Hi, I'm Chuck.
And Deb.
And welcome to Biker Life Radio. We're so truly grateful and thankful that you've joined us today. We've got a very, unique show lined up just for you.
Biker Life Radio is for those who ride and those who inspire to ride. We are here to reveal the truth behind the motorcycle mystique and bring real-life stories of the biker lifestyle.
All right, well, we have some unique stories of the biker lifestyle, and we're going to have to get some more interviews here as we go. And you may recall the last interview we had with Jason there in Memphis, Texas.
Yes.
And we hope you enjoyed that. Say hello to Jason out there and his wife and his family there that really helped out in a time of need. Still haven't forgotten you and really appreciate all that. So, Deb, where are we going today? What do you want to talk about? We've been on the road quite a bit, so we apologize that our podcasts and our videos haven't been up in a timely manner. It has been quite the challenge to be able to, number one, be in one place at one time, get Wi-Fi, and all sorts of cool things that a lot of challenges.
Yeah, different experiences that we were definitely learning through. And, the one thing, I guess, when people think about traveling across the country and all the great stuff and having all this time, and, we were fortunate to have a little bit of time on the road, which was wonderful. But the one thing I think that we didn't do that I thought worked well based on our circumstances, we didn't plan anything.
You thought that worked well. That's strange coming from you.
It is, because I'm like the mega planner of all planners. However, based on what we experienced on that trip, I think it was a good thing that we didn't have plans, because then we would have to be breaking those commitments and or plans, rearranging and doing some whole sorts of other things. So it was good that we kind of had a idea of what we wanted to do, some of the things we may have wanted to go to see. But other than that, it was almost like planning as we went. And I think that was some of the challenge I know that for me I faced is we didn't realize with COVID going on and all the other sorts of stuff what travel might look like outside the state of Florida. And every state was a little bit different.
Yeah, it was a challenge. It was quite different. And it was totally unplanned. And in case you haven't been following us and you're just now joining us, we actually took a RV across the country. I was supposed to take my bike, Thumper, with us. Thumper didn't make it. It was 460 miles away from me meeting Deb in Colorado. It broke down just right outside of Childress, between Childress and Memphis, Texas, with 460 miles left to go. Broke my heart. But the whole idea was that we were going to get the RV. We were going to tow Thumper in a U-Haul for a while before we picked up our trailer, which we got in Brose, Georgia. Yep. And if you're looking for a good trailer, just let us know. We could probably help you with that, because that was a pretty good deal, and it's been a nice trailer so far.
Yep.
So, again, like Deb said, it was totally unplanned. Every day we woke up, we didn't know where we were going. We usually didn't have a place to stay, and it just and we've mentioned this before, so I know it might be a little bit redundant, but for those people who haven't heard it, it was the season that even though COVID's going on, some places, I guess, might even had a COVID where you couldn't have the entire, because I think the Grand Canyon might have been that way, because there were so many spots that were open, but they said that there weren't. So they might have been limiting the amount of people that could occupy a particular RV park or camp or whatever they're called.
Correct.
So it was just a matter of just going out there on a day-by-day basis, not knowing what was going to happen. And the whole idea was to take the bike. I think I said I sort of got lost there, but and to ride the bike, park for a few days and then ride the bike on some of the rides. And maybe what I would do is some of those mountain things, though I don't know how Deb would have dealt with it if I wouldn't have been in there. I don't know. You might have dealt with it better when we're going over some of those mountain passes.
I think I may, I've tried to think about that, because driving through them with an RV as big as it felt like it was, which now it's not such a big RV anymore, but
no, it's not.
Because I've driven for so long now. But as a new driver in that environment, those were some treacherous mountains. But I also feel that maybe on a motorcycle being more open, I would have felt more at ease, if that's a little, that's awkward for me to say, but someone that does not like heights whatsoever on the edge of cliffs is not the way that I like to travel. But I had this huge responsibility of this RV, making sure we got over to the other side of the pass. And that to me was a little bit, I think,
More than
as
one
we
pass.
watched, it was several of them, probably 4 or 5 if I counted them. But the motorcycles we saw coming down the mountains, I think I would have been more comfortable in the seat or a saddle on a motorcycle at that point than in the RV.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I mean,
possibly.
I lived in Colorado and I rode in the mountains, but I don't ever recall riding a pass like that. So that's something we're going to have to go back and do. And now the trailer that we have is not a trailer. By the way, we're not trailing our motorcycles. We're just carrying our garage with us.
Portable
with our home.
garage. Yep, that's right.
So, for all those people that are going to talk down about us trailering our bikes, it's just our garage.
Right.
Because we're taking it, our garage along with our home
house, yeah.
as we go. And so we're hoping to be doing more of that. And, Sturgis is happening this week. Sturgis is coming up.
Right.
And
starts this weekend, actually.
Yeah. So we, had plans to maybe go up north and things like that we didn't do. We, when we initially left, we said, let's do this. And maybe we'll end up over there at Sturgis and South Dakota and Deadwood and ride some of those rides over there. But because I didn't have the motorcycle, it
didn't make sense.
Didn't want to do it. We'll just have to leave it for another time. And so, it was a great time.
It was a great time, and we have so many more things on the list now. We've got Yellowstone. We've got to get up there to the Deadwood area and do all of those Sturgis type rides that they do. So it's done is it's fueled my fire to get moving, to get things even faster, so we can get back on the road and get up there. So, but the idea is, what we need to remember is that winter is coming for a good part of the country. And so again, as this becomes a new lifestyle for us, we will certainly learn where we can travel in the winter months and where we can travel in the summer months. And I know that there's going to be good riding no matter where we go. So I do love the fact that it's our home on wheels, and our garage, our portable garage, just goes with us so that we can have our motorcycles too.
Yeah. And winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. Everybody knows
Yeah.
Deb doesn't know, but I think I just, anyway, we'll pass that up. So where are we going with that now?
Well, I just wanted to kind of maybe recap a little bit for those that are new to maybe and didn't connect all the dots of where we were. So we started off in Colorado. We left Colorado, did a lot of mountain ranges in Colorado on our way to the Grand Canyon, stopped at the Grand Canyon for a couple of days, and then headed down.
By the way, that's the best. If you haven't been there, it's not on your bucket list. It's something
you've got
you
to go.
Have to see.
Yes.
That was my 3rd time there, and I was absolutely amazed. I was blown away by it. It's absolutely incredible. All the pictures that we've taken, all the videos that you'll be able to see are not going to compare to being there in person. And actually, it probably worked out best during COVID that we're there, because there were parking lots that were empty. So I can imagine this place being packed full of people, which
Right.
There were still a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like a lot of people.
A lot of foreigners were there. So that was interesting. A lot of people weren't wearing their mask that were there.
Yes.
So it was quite interesting that you had this mix, and a lot of people weren't wearing the mask, and they were all foreigners from people from all around the world. Speaking of which, we didn't have any really trouble with the COVID and mask. We followed the rules. We darted through New Mexico because they had a 14-day quarantine that we weren't about ready to do. And so we just chucked right on through that state. But go ahead, Deb. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah. So no, we made it through Colorado. We did a very scenic route down the southern part of Colorado on our way to Arizona. So then we hit the Grand Canyon, and then we headed through Sedona, Arizona on our way to Prescott, Arizona.
I love it.
Where we were fortunate to connect with some friends in Prescott and stay there a couple of days. Again, I think we both probably wish we could have doubled our time there or tripled and stayed there for quite some time, because Prescott was beautiful. And then we headed to see some friends down in the Phoenix area, and that very South Phoenix. It was not really even Phoenix, but the south end of the city, down south of Mesa. And that was a very different culture and climate, driving through the desert. And so at that point, we knew after watching a little bit of what was going on with COVID that New Mexico was doing a 14-day quarantine. So we originally had planned to stop overnight there, But then we rerouted ourselves in order to just drive through the state in order to get to Texas. So we did. We stayed on the other side of Texas.
And you missed the petrified forest.
Oh, we
went
did the
through
petrified forest. Yes, after we left the Phoenix area, we did. We did the petrified forest.
It wasn't as spectacular as I had recalled it, and I wanted to see some petrified wood and all sorts of things. But again, we had to get back on the road. We had already been off the road, what, an hour?
It was a good detour for an hour to 2 hours. It was neat, and I would certainly recommend if you're not in a hurry and have some time, because we really didn't get to see even the whole entire petrified forest park. So yeah, definitely make the time. That was worth it, I think, to just kind of jaunt off the beaten path and get off the highway a little bit. And then we headed into Texas, stayed in Texas before we picked up Thumper in Memphis, Texas, and then made our trek from Texas on back. Did we do anything exciting on the way back?
Not really. Not much.
We did actually go up north. We did hit Tennessee.
Yeah, went through Memphis.
We went through Oklahoma and Tennessee and stayed the night over in Tennessee before we started our jaunt back down to Georgia, where we were picking up our trailer. And then we were wanting to just kind of do a little bit of Florida stuff, the northern part of Florida. But it's scallop season in the Crystal River area, in case people didn't realize. So we did stop. We just could not find a place to stay the night. So we just headed on home, and we are back, and all of our home away from home is parked for the moment, and our garage is parked for the moment. So
have when you guys have taken a vacation and it's been a great vacation, but yet you're sort of glad to be back home. Ever felt that way? I'd imagine you have, because we felt that way, but this time we didn't feel that way. We didn't want to be back home. We wanted to be back on the road immediately. Our beds, we slept so well in the RV. We're still getting adjusted to our beds. I haven't had a good night's rest since we've been back, and I slept really fairly good in the RV.
Right.
And so we were both really just can't wait, itching to get back on the road. And I'm worried about the RV every day, whether it's missing us or not. And so we got to go check in with, we haven't got a name for the RV yet. Maybe you guys can help us name our RV.
Yeah, help us name it. That would be wonderful.
That'd be cool. I said Snoopy. Deb can't figure that one out. Maybe somebody else can. And I don't like the name, but that's just one that came to me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Snoopy. So I've had a couple just kind of fly through my brain, but as I'm driving her, and I think of her as a her, I don't know why, but I do. I don't know. Nothing's come to me quite yet, but we will name the RV for sure. And and that's been an interesting concept, because everybody, you think that you're excited to get home, you're ready to get home, but because I believe that our home was on the road, and we knew that going into it, very comfortable, we can, cook and eat and do all the things that we would normally do in home. I loved it, and I can't wait. And we figured out that this, driving every day or two is not really functional for us. It would be more like
do some work,
go stay somewhere for a week, or I'm even thinking go to Prescott for a month. What do you think about that?
That's not a bad idea. And they got that place right down the Bryan, right down the road from him.
Yeah.
So we could bug him all the time.
Or just go climb the butte
for free meals and everything.
Oh goodness, they don't eat that much anymore. So yeah, we'd have to prepare meals. But anyway, it's a great time. We had a wonderful visit, and we are glad to be back. But it's almost like, let's just organize enough to get back on the road, because I think that we just want to get back on the road.
I've been even tempted to get back on the road and go to Sturgis. I mean, we could do it.
Oh yeah, don't tempt me.
The only reason it's not tempting is because you fouled something up, and now we have to stay behind for you to fix that.
Yeah,
number one.
Yeah,
but you could probably do it on the road.
I could.
Maybe.
I could do it on the road. It is a thought.
But we have to start generating some income. So we have to be here. We have to work at some point in time. And we haven't been able to we weren't able to figure it out while we're on the road, because we're always changing. There was no routine. You could never get a routine down. So, the only routine is how you pack up the RV, and that changed every day depending on the situation. So
on the lot.
But as things come to an end, you sort of get better at doing all those kind of things and figuring it out and changing some things as we go. And that's sort of how it went. At the end, it went real fast. It was hard to believe that a whole week went by, and then all of a sudden we're here. We're home.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things where you just don't want it to end, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's not ended. It's just that we've got to get some things squared away and to make sure that we can continue to do what we do.
Right.
And that's part of our lifestyle. That's what it's talking about up here, is to work less and ride more.
That's our goal.
And
Yeah,
we're going to have a
absolutely.
program that you guys maybe can get involved with here in the near future. And we've been saying that for some time, but we are busy people traveling across the country.
Yeah, we were gone for about a month, and that was wonderful. So I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do it, and just looking for more of the work less, ride more. And I did have a friend actually. Yeah, Route 6, we did touch a lot of it. Unfortunately, it wasn't on a motorcycle, but we did kind of get bits and pieces of the historic Route 66 along our travels, which was really cool.
You were going to say something about some friend or something. I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, someone, one of the people that I am acquaintances with. So actually I made a remark, do you guys ever work? And ultimately that's kind of the goal of things, is that I don't want work to feel like work, because we love what we do. And that's what we would like to bring to all of you too. And so just stay tuned, keep listening, because as we keep promising, it is coming. We definitely want to offer everyone that we know that has an interest in something other than what they're doing now an opportunity. So
yeah, we're working on a lot of different things that are in the fires, but we have a lot of hurdles just like everybody else. Deb ran into one yesterday that's going to set her back a little bit, and so it sets our plans back a little bit. And again, it would be very tempting. We might think about it, Deb. Sturgis, I don't know. I just can't get it out of my head. So
I don't have to think
me about it. All we got to do is go pick it up and
That's
drive
right.
off.
We don't have to think too hard.
We got 2 motorcycles. One needs a tire. We could probably deal without that, and the other one's some handlebars, which I could probably throw on pretty quick. I think maybe we could try.
I don't know. I'm all for it. So if you are for us heading the road and going to Sturgis, be sure and like and subscribe and tell us. Hit the road, guys. Go back to Sturgis and bring it all to you.
Speaking of which, we want to thank everybody that followed us and commented and stayed in touch with us throughout our journey. It was because of you that made our journey that much more fun, if you would, because we were able to share it with everybody. And, like Carol Whedon, man. Carol Whedon's been everywhere.
Yes.
A friend of ours, and she commented all the time and
gave us great tips along the way, though, of what to do and where to go. And maybe, it was a little after we'd hit the road or headed out of town. But, that's the thing. And we want to bring that to you, too, is that we were able to discover several little tricks and things along the way. And as we get back to, riding on the road, definitely are the things that we want to make sure that we bring to you, because it's easy when you're in one geographical area to think about that area for riding. And what we discovered is that there's probably a whole ton of riding out west that we never even imagined, because we weren't really riding street motorcycles like we are today when we were in that area. And so now it's time to go experience some of that beauty on 2 wheels.
I did.
Well, I didn't.
Well, I did.
Okay. Yeah.
I did some of that riding.
You did some of that riding.
I enjoyed
for sure.
it.
Yeah.
But, there's a different type of riding, which we saw a lot of, and that was the adventure bikes.
Yes.
And there was tons of those on the passes. And I can only imagine, they're on the road, but they must be up there for some other things as well, those passes. And those are some other things that we want to get under our belt as well and try out. And we actually passed a place, I think you saw it on the road, Deb, was to rent one or take a class, or what was it? Do you remember?
I think it was an adventure riding class. And so we'll definitely have to look them back up, and maybe on our next adventure out on the road, we can certainly plan a trip to go learn how to ride in adventure riding, and then rent a bike and go do a trail or two.
Rent a bike. Maybe somebody wants to sponsor us to
That's
go ahead
true
and
too.
Highlight them on the show.
Absolutely.
Their rental bikes and their program on the tours that they do. So if you know somebody that wants to do some trading, if you will,
right,
we can accommodate that, of course.
Have them connect with us. We'd love to get them on the radio and show them and talk to them about all the things that they do in the adventure bike riding world, and then also see what we can do to get on them too.
So, I did get bit by one of those murder hornets, and I survived. I noticed, if you see this left side of my face here, it's still swollen, but I did survive, one of those murder hornets.
That's the funniest thing, is that you were gobbled up by all sorts of creatures and bugs and stuff, not on the road, but as we were heading back home. And there were some red wasps in the northern part of Georgia that just came out when we were packing up, because I went out there to help and I noticed them. And next thing I know, you came in and said you've been stung.
Yeah, I needed some sympathy. I wanted some love. So I'll do anything to, to get some of that, whatever it takes. But yeah, I did. And I was only joking about the murder wasp or hornet. They're supposed to be really large. I really didn't even see it. I was actually pushing in one of the compartment doors on the RV. So I wasn't messing with anybody or messing with a nest or even around, because the night before we sat down on the picnic table that was out there and had no problems.
Nothing, right.
And so all I was doing was making sure the compartment doors were shut tight by leaning them up against them the way that Deb's dad taught me to do, and shut them. And that's when I got stung. Right here in my ear. Actually, it was in my ear.
Yes.
But come to find out, there were 2 other lower bites right below my ear. And Jim Boothman says I need to write a book, which he's absolutely right, about Thumper going down. I actually have thought many times, and hopefully I'll have an opportunity to get around to this, is to write children's books about Thumper. And that's something that I would probably really enjoy doing. And maybe I can even do the artwork, which would be really gross. But
well, maybe there's an artist that would want to help you out.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that, but it was something to be stung, and it did. It's just now going away after, over a week. I mean,
Right.
I read online it was supposed to last maybe 3 days or something. And
Yeah.
I did have some euphoria going on. Is that the right word? I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah. A little bit of deja vu.
I was
Not really
enjoying
yet.
it. I wasn't sure if I was going to die. It's a good thing I wasn't allergic to them, obviously, out in the middle of nowhere, and we wouldn't have had any.
Right. It was very far northern Georgia.
Yeah,
We were heading on our way down south, and yeah, that was
Cave Creek, I think it was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, Cave Creek, Georgia. Yep, a neat little spot there too. Sort of, kind of, yeah. It was different. So
we're still looking for that great place,
the perfect place,
and that's what we did. If we would have found a really great place, we'd probably stayed there a little bit longer.
Yes,
but we just didn't run across it, and so we tried a lot of different places. And hey, that's just what happens when you go without a plan. You just go with the flow. You end up where you end. And you just make the best of it. And that's what we did. We always made the best of it. Actually, the last one in Valdosta, Georgia, was the one that pissed me off the most. But that's just my problem, not anybody else's. Number one, they claim to have Wi-Fi. And you guys can imagine why Wi-Fi is important to us. We actually used all our data plus some.
Right.
So we learned from that. That's why Wi-Fi is important. And they had a Wi-Fi extender, whatever, I don't know, 25, 30 feet away from our RV, and it didn't even come in. So I was a little bit upset about all that, but it doesn't take much to get me upset, does it, Deb?
Well, it depends on the circumstances, but when it comes to Wi-Fi after the trip we've had, and the problem is that, we learned very quickly that that's an important question for us to ask, is the quality of Wi-Fi in all of the spots.
Yes, in every spot. Can you get Wi-Fi in every site?
Spot, right, every site. And they all said, and even this one, yes, great signal. And we get there and there's no signal.
None.
So
you should have seen me with the Roku up, lifting the sunroof up, trying to stick it out and all sorts of crazy stuff just to try to get a signal. I still couldn't get a signal. It was ridiculous. So I'm still upset about it. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. And then the bathhouse was a ways away too.
Yeah, and I took the long route, scenic route for that, but that's my fault. I'll take responsibility.
What else is new?
I know. But it's been an adventure. We're glad to be back. We're ready for more adventure, and we just thank all of you for being part of that with us. And if you're new to our adventure, then hang on and enjoy the ride, because we will help you find true freedom with every ride we go on.
That's the whole goal here. And we've got to get back into the swing of things. We need to get more people to interview for you. So that'll be coming up. So, it's just give us a break as you have. We appreciate that. We haven't been on time with a lot of what we've done because we have been on the road. So we want to thank everybody for their patience and just bearing with us through the time that we're going through. And everybody be sure to pray for Thumper. You can send donations too.
Absolutely right. Chuck-n-Deb Show.
Yeah, get Thumper up. I'm going to actually try to attempt to do some of it myself. I think I would have to clean out the garage a little bit better than what it is, so I can keep track of all the parts. But
anybody wants to help you out, there's another call for help.
Dan's already offered, so Dan would be good. He's already said whatever I need, just take it down there and we can work it out. And and he's there for any assistance. So that's Dan Burden with Dan's Beach Win. So we really appreciate him because he helped me out.
He's been a tremendous friend.
He's always been there for us, always from the very beginning. Fantastic guy. Just glad to have him in a part of our life.
That's right. Sure. Absolutely.
So, but I'm supposed to have some time now. Things have changed with us, so I'm supposed to have some time, but it just hasn't worked out that way to be able to work on these things. It's like it's hard to believe that it's even Thursday. And I am saying that it's Thursday because it is Thursday.
Yes.
It's hard to believe it.
The week's almost over. Goodness.
It's just hard to believe. And, it's just flying. It's like, we just come back and the time just goes and you run into all sorts of problems that set you back. And, life.
That's right. We'll just keep on working through it and come out the other side better people.
Yep.
So, well, we just appreciate all of you listening. So you can be sure, and if you haven't visited us yet, be sure and follow us and go to Apple or iTunes and Spotify. Leave a review. Please let us know if you have any topics that you'd like us to talk about. We've got things in the works for sure, as always, but we'd love to hear from you as far as what things you'd like for us to share about biking, motorcycling, and all things biker related. And so be sure and let us know. And then you can also visit us on our website, which is chuck-n-deb-show.com.
Yep. And also find us on Facebook at Biker Life Radio. We also have a page for Chuck and Deb. Let's just explain that a little bit in case some people have gotten lost. The Chuck and Deb Show is how we started out. And the Chuck and Deb Show now is what we consider like our local, for things that are happening locally. Biker Life Radio is international. It's around the world. It's global. And so we are a show basically on Biker Life Radio. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and announce right now, we're looking for talent. That's one of the big projects that I'll be working on, but we're looking for talent. If you have a show like ours, if you have a podcast, you have a video vlog, or anything else that's related to motorcycles, and you want to be part of Biker Life Radio, just contact us. Go to the Biker Life Radio on Facebook, message us, or go out to our website, whatever it takes. And what we're going to do is we're going to get you listed on there, okay? And but there'll be more to reveal. But if we're looking for talent, we're looking for people who have similar interests that are talking about motorcycle issues, motorcycle topics, and that's where this is going to go. And it's going to go in a big way. So you want to get on board before it even gets started. So
right at the very beginning.
You've been let in on a big secret, so keep it to yourself and just contact us if you want to get started on something.
Absolutely.
If you have an interest in doing a podcast, let us know. We can help you with that as well.
Right.
And if any questions whatsoever about what we do, please let us know. We'll be happy to answer any of those questions.
Okay. So all the ways they can follow us, and please be sure to tune in so that you do not miss an episode.
And don't forget our sponsors. We like to acknowledge our sponsors we have.
Absolutely.
Tony and Guy, which is a hairdressing academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Now, what is a hairdressing academy, Deb?
Well, it's an academy where people can go learn the technical trades of hairdressing and or barbering, or estheticians is what they're going to be offering here soon. So they can do nails and facials and all that sort of fun stuff and learn that trade at the highest.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say, why Tony and Guy?
The highest and best education system around. So Tony and Guy is a front-leading, cutting-edge hairdressing school, which also then converts into the high-end hairdressing salon. So a great way to.
And even though that you might be listening locally, if it's you or a child or someone that that has a desire to be educated in this skill, as a profession.
Yes.
Hey, you can go to Colorado Springs and do it. Sit at the base of Pikes Peak. Wake up every morning to that. It'll rain every day at 3:00 though.
In the summer.
And you will have some snow on October 31st.
That's right.
But it's all great.
It's beautiful.
It's a great place to go. Great place to get your education started. And then so we also want to make sure that that we have the inView, which is a helmet light that attaches to the back of your motorcycle helmet.
Yep.
And it's a turn signal brake light. And it actually works in conjunction with your braking. It's wireless. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you can go out to the chuck-and-deb-show.com/inView, and then you'll be able to go ahead and get that, and you'll get $25 off.
Right.
just by mentioning Biker Life, promotion code Biker Life.
Absolutely.
So we're really backing David Warner and his product. That's his invention. Please sure to check out the interview that we've done with him. I think that's a few episodes ago. I apologize. I'm not the technical guy that has the sheets in front of us, but you can go out and listen to the podcast. Also see the video because he did a fantastic job.
It was a great time.
And we really appreciate David. He's an adventure bike rider, by the way.
That's right.
And we plan on doing some of that with him in the near future. That
Yes.
would be great. So I've rambled on and we've dragged this on a little bit longer, but it just, to me, it's just real important to give a great thanks for all of our followers, all of our listeners, all of our viewers, whatever, all of our audience. We're just truly
Correct.
grateful and thankful for each and every one of you, your support. We've got support coming in from all over. Actually, let's mention real quick before I forget, our daughter, our oldest daughter, actually went out and purchased us a camera so that we can use out on the road. And so she's planted a seed for things to happen and take place. And we really appreciate you, Brittany. Thank you for doing that.
Yes,
and
thank you.
We'll get that up and we'll be using that in the future. So we're really grateful. We've been blessed this whole time. We've been blessed with an RV. We've been blessed with the trailer. And so, we hope that the blessings will be returned to you as well. And I want to say again, we're truly grateful and thankful for each and every one of you.
Yes.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right. See you again soon. Bye-bye.